Good afternoon to all the NEET aspirants. This is your Prasanna Ma'am from NEET World. So yes, in today's session we are going to exercise the advanced questionnaire on morphology of flowering plants. So yes, in our previous class we have dealt with all the previous year questions of this chapter, and after keen analysis we have got to know that the most of the questions are asked from the examples, especially highlighting the floral characteristics, be it symmetry, placentation, aestivation. All the examples and the concepts are highlighted, most importantly families as well, floral diagrams and floral formulae. Looking into all the questions, we have figured out the most advanced questionnaire from this chapter, and let's exercise it now. Let's look into the first question, which is on the regions of the root. So yes, in the beginning of this chapter we have learnt about the regions of the root. First look into the question, which of the following statements is correct with respect to given figure showing different zones of a typical root. So in this diagram different roots are being shown. Of course, region A is what? Region of maturation, because from this region only root hairs will arise, root hairs, and this is region of elongation, and C will be region of meristematic zone, and last, this zone is the protective cap, that is root cap, which is thimble like structure, root cap. Fine. So yes, here if you see, part B mainly helps in absorption of water. No, meristematic, which part will help in the absorption of water? Root hairs, that is region of maturation, will play keen role in absorption of water and increasing the surface area of the root. So it is not part B. Next, quiescent center is present in part B. What is this quiescent center? Quiescent center is the center which is present in the meristematic zone, which is the storehouse of meristematic cells. Root apical meristems you can say, wherein the quiescent center which is present in the meristematic zone is the storehouse of what cells? Meristematic cells. Meristematic cells. Okay, and then part A is most suitable for anatomical studies of the root. True, differentiation of the cells can be observed in part C. In part C there is no differentiation of the cells because part C is the main zone for meristematic activity only. Differentiation is observed in region A or part A, that is maturation region. So this maturation region, as differentiated cells will be there, this region is mostly useful for what? This region is useful for the anatomical studies of the root. Clear with the first question, ma? Let's go to the second question, which is match the following type. Look at here carefully, and this question is also from the regions of the root. Maturation region is mainly for what? Secondary growth, because cells over here are involved in differentiation. So A will be option 4, and then elongation. Region of elongation in the root is mainly helpful for lengthening of the root, which is option 1, and root cap, which is at the bottom below the meristematic region, that root cap is mainly helpful for protection, okay, which is option 3, and meristematic activity is keenly involved in cell division, which is option 2. So here if you see, A is 4, B is 1, C will be 3 and D is 2. Option 2 is the right answer. Clear, right? So you can also answer parallelly here, be it right or wrong. Just keep on responding and learn. And anywhere, any doubt, you can drop a message in the chat box, okay? A lateral branch with short internodes and each node bearing a rosette of leaves and tuft of roots is found in. So this modification is what type of modification, beta? Subaerial stem modification. This type of modification is subaerial stem modification. Stem modification. Fine. So this is the subaerial stem modification, wherein it has short internodes and each node is having what? Rosette of leaves and tuft of roots. So this type of subaerial stem modification examples include what? Pistia and Eichhornia. Option C is the right answer, right ma? Pistia and Eichhornia. And then next question you see, yes, match the following column 1 and column 2, and this question is based on the stem modifications. Okay. So colocasia, colocasia is what? Storage stem. This is underground stem modification, storage stem. Watermelon is the best example for which modification beta? Aerial stem modification, that is stem tendril. Opuntia and Euphorbia, these are also stem modification where stem is modified to, where the leaves are modified to thorns, and stem in Opuntia it is flattened stem. In Euphorbia you can see what? Cylindrical stem, yes or no? And in Bougainvillea stems are modified to thorns, okay, the axillary buds are modified to thorns. So here Bougainvillea it is stem thorn, that is option 2. So here, very good Tanveer, keep on answering beta. Any doubt anywhere you can ask me ma. Yeah. So here A is option 3, A is option 3, B is 5. So I'll write here, okay. Colocasia, that is A, which is option 3, A is 3, and B watermelon, which is a stem tendril, that is 4, B is option 4, and C Opuntia, which has flattened stem, C will be 1, and Euphorbia, which has cylindrical stem, fleshy cylindrical stem, D is option 5, and then Bougainvillea, which is the stem thorn, option 2. E is option 2. Fine ma. So here A3, B4, C1, D5 and E2, option D will be the right answer. D Tanveer, it is option D. D is the right answer. And next question. Yeah, here which of the following is incorrect statement? So statement based question, and this is from leaf modification beta. Palmately compound leaves resemble fingers of a palm. True? Yes, palmately compound leaves will resemble like fingers of a palm. Next, best example is what? Alstonia. Okay. And then all leaflets of palmately compound leaves are attached to a common point. True, right? All leaflets are attached to a common point. That is why it resembles like fingers of a palm. Next, neem leaves have continuous lamella. Continuous lamella is observed in simple leaf. Okay. Continuous lamella is observed in simple leaf. Continuous lamina is observed in simple leaf. Whereas here neem leaves, these are not simple leaves, these are pinnately compound leaves. Okay, these are very good Tanveer, option C is the right answer. So here these are what? Pinnately compound leaves. Pinnately compound. Okay, so as he asked in correct statement, the right answer is option C. And in D, if you see, silk cotton leaf is classified as what? Palmately compound leaf. Okay, and then next question you see ma, choose the incorrect match he is asking. Okay, incorrect match. Zygomorphic flowers are bilaterally symmetrical. Yes, zygomorphic flowers are bilaterally symmetrical, where only single plane will divide the flower into two equal halves. Examples of zygomorphic flower include pea, bean, cassia, gulmohar. Right. Asymmetric flowers, where any plane cannot divide the flower into two equal halves. So here asymmetric or irregular flower, best example is canna. Next, inferior ovary is P. Wrong. P is having superior ovary. It belongs to Fabaceae family. It has superior ovary and hypogynous flower. Okay, superior ovary and hypogynous flower. Hypogynous flower. Fine ma. So here option C, as he asked incorrect match, it is option C. And D also you see superior ovary or hypogynous flower, for example mustard, China rose and brinjal, true. Okay. Inferior ovary you can see guava, cucumber and sunflower. These are the examples for inferior ovary epigynous flower. Okay. And then examples somehow you have to remember beta, because from core botany chapters, be it biological classification, morphology of flowering plants, anatomy, mostly biological classification and morphology of flowering plants, definitely there will be a question on the examples for sure. So always you have to highlight the examples when you are going through these chapters, even at the time of revision. Okay. So look at this question, this is about placentation. What is placentation? Arrangement of ovules inside the ovary is placentation. So this question is about the types of placentation directly from the diagrams of the NCERT. The very first diagram if you see, that is A, which is showing marginal placentation where all the seeds are arranged in a ridge. Okay. So first is what? Marginal placentation. Second, where a single ovule is arranged at the base of the ovary, which is the basal placentation. And then here you can see ovules which are on the inner chamber and in the locules of the ovary. Okay. Inner chamber ovules are placed which have divided the ovary into different chambers or locules. This is what? Axile placentation. Free central, where the ovules are arranged at the center without forming any locules or chambers, that is free central. Very good Tanvir, that is option B. Parietal placentation, where the inner wall of the or inner membrane is giving out what? Ovules. Okay, inner membrane is forming ovules here. So that is parietal placentation, which results in the formation of false septa. Okay, false septa. So here what is the right answer? Option B is the right answer over here. Next question you look into beta. This is about fruit. Okay. So given figure represents a drupe of mango. We have different types of fruit, but then most of the times the question is asked on the drupe type of fruit in comparison with mango and coconut. Okay. So quite a times in our NEET PYQs we have come across the question on drupe type of fruit comparatively on mango and coconut on different layers, fruit wall layers. Okay. So here you see given figure represents a drupe of mango. Select option correctly which identifies A, B, C and D. Of course the outer layer is what? The outer layer will be pericarp. And here B is what? Fleshy mesocarp. B is fleshy mesocarp. Mesocarp which is fleshy. And C is stony endocarp. Okay, C is what? Stony endocarp. Sorry, you can consider C because inner part the labeling is from inside, right? C you can consider it as seed. And D is what? Stony endocarp. Stony endocarp. Clear, right? So here you can see A is epicarp, B is mesocarp, C is seed and D is endocarp. Okay, it is option B. So this is not pericarp beta, this is epicarp. Okay, so fruit wall layer which is pericarp is divided into 3 layers: epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. Fine, right? So here outer is epi, then middle mesocarp which is fleshy, and then endocarp, inside that seed. Clear, right? So the right answer is option B. And then this is about monocot seed. Okay, so recognize the figure and find out the correct matching he is asking. From monocot seed we have come across that endosperm is present. At the center you have starchy endosperm which is covered by alluron layer. Yes Tanvir, look at the question carefully. At the center starchy endosperm which is surrounded by proteinaceous endosperm or alluron layer, and here embryo which is papery cotyledon is called as scutellum. This scutellum will derive the nutrition or nutrients from the endosperm and give it to the embryonal axis. From this embryonal axis towards the upper side it will develop into plumule. Over plumule the covering sheath is called as coleoptile, and at the lower side radicle which is uncovered by coleorhiza. So here you see this is what? Starchy endosperm. Okay, this is starchy endosperm. Fine. And this layer is what? Proteinaceous endosperm, or you can also say aileron layer. B is aileron layer. And this is the embryonal axis, right beta? D is what? Protective sheath above the plumule is called as what? Coleoptile. And C is what? Scutellum, which is papery cotyledon. Scutellum. Okay. And here E is what? Coleorhiza, which is the sheath that is covering the radicle. Okay, this is coleorhiza. So here if you have to look into, A is, where is A? Yeah, A is not scutellum, so you can eliminate this. A is endosperm, B will be aileron layer proteinaceous sheath, C is scutellum, D will be coleoptile, and E is coleorhiza. Option C is right answer. No issues, Tanvir, learn from your mistakes, ma. So here option C is the right answer. Have you understood about monocot seed? If you are having any doubt, you can ask me, ma. Okay, monocot seed is clear to you, right? Yeah. Next. This you look into. This is from floral diagrams and family with examples. I will tell you a nice trick. Listen. So here in the floral diagram, if you are having perianth P 3+3 and andrecium, here epiphyllous condition is not given, but epiphyllous condition also will be given. Okay. Perianth with 3+3, epitepalous also you can say. Tepals arrangement, that is 3+3, if it is there, then you can directly go for what? Liliaceae family. So A is 2, and here Liliaceae family, what is the example? Tulips. Tulips are the best example for Liliaceae. So here A, 2, N. When this multi-column match the following questions are given, nowhere you need to get panicked, because it is very easy to answer. You have to go question by question, option by option. Okay. Next here if you see corolla arrangement, calyx it is 5, corolla and andrecium. This is the characteristic for Fabaceae member. If it is 1 + 2 + 2, that is vexillary aestivation, and andrecium 9 + 1, which is diadelphous condition. So diadelphous condition, vexillary aestivation. Characteristic for which family beta? Fabaceae. So here B is 4, and then here best examples of this, which is the best example for Fabaceae members? Indigofera, which is used as dye. Okay, this is L. And then epipetalous condition, where corolla is adjoined to andrecium in the floral formula. Then it is epipetalous condition. Epipetalous condition, you can directly go for which family? Solanaceae. So C is 1, that is Solanaceae. The example you can take is what? Petunia, that is M. Okay, Petunia. Here calyx 2 + 2 and corolla 4, andrecium tetradynamous condition if it is observed, that is variation in the length of andrecium is observed in which family, ma? Brassicaceae family. So here Brassicaceae family if you see, that is tetradynamous condition, where D is option 3, that is Brassicaceae, D 3, and mustard is the best example for Brassicacean family members, that is K. So here if you look into A 2 and N, B 4 L, C 1 M, D 3 K, that is option B will be the right answer. Next question. Yes. How many plants in the list given below have marginal placentation? They are asking. Marginal placentation. Marginal placentation is the key feature for which family? Fabaceae family. Make a note of it. Now it will be easy for you to answer. Mustard is of Brassicaceae family. Okay. Mustard which belongs to Brassicaceae family. Brassicaceae family, which placentation will be there with a parietal placentation. Okay. Gram is of Fabaceae member only. So this is of marginal placentation. Tulip of Liliaceae, which is of axial placentation. Asparagus is also Liliaceae member, which is of axial placentation. Arhar and Sunhemp, both of them again Fabaceae members which have marginal placentation. and then chili, which is a Solanaceae member, which is of what placentation? Solanaceae, axile placentation again. Colchicum liliaceae, axile placentation. Onion liliaceae, axile placentation. So 3 of them are having what? Axial placentation only. Next mung, pea, both of them again marginal placentation. Okay. Tobacco, axial placentation, axial, and lupin, which is a Fabaceae member, again it is marginal placentation. So here if you have to look into this multiple options, gram 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Of this whole examples, how many of them are showing marginal placentation? 6. Okay. So how you can identify easily when multiple examples are given and we need to identify only one character. In that case, we have to go with families. Okay. Families should be our key role to identify the examples. You have to know all the examples with respect to its family. So identifying the characteristic feature of family will be easy for you. So here as such we have identified how many marginal placentation is there? 6. Okay. And then this one. Match the following type of question again, column 1 and column 2. In column 1 medicinal plant is given, in column 2 its family. Okay. Aloe vera, which is of which family? Liliaceae, which is option 4. Belladonna, Solanaceae member. Mullati, Fabaceae member medicinal plant. Ashwagandha is of Solanaceae again. Ashwagandha is of Solanaceae. So here A is 4, B 3, C 2 and D 3. Option C will be the right answer. Easy to identify medicinal plants, right? And next question, last question of today's session. This is based on the andrecium cohesion and adhesion. When we have come across the NEET PYQs also, we have come across so many questions on the andrecium. Okay, in every alternate years, quite at times, most of the times the questions are asked on the andrecium, especially highlighting the concepts of cohesion and adhesion. So here if you have to look into epipetalous condition, which belongs to Solanaceae family members. So Solanaceae, which is the best example over here, Ashwagandha, which is a Solanaceae member medicinal plant. Epiphyllous condition, Liliaceae member, example is lily. Next, monodalphous. Monodalphous condition, China rose. Okay, China rose, which belongs to Malvaceae family. It is having just one bunch of infinite andrecium. So it is monodalphous condition, which is option 2. Diadalphous, undoubtedly what is the example for diadalphous? Fabaceae family members, which is option 1. Polyadalphous will be citrus, which belongs to Rutaceae family. So here you look into the options and identify it keenly. A is option 5, B will be 3, okay, C is 2 and D 1, C is 2, D 1 and E 4. Option D will be the right answer. Clear, right? So with this we are dealt with the chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants. In our next session, we are going to exercise all the NEET previous year questions from the chapter Anatomy of Flowering Plants. So don't miss that session, and that's all for today. Thank you.